Hey guys, thank you for watching. This is Breaking Burke. It is my YouTube channel about houseplants and gardening here in the desert of Albuquerque, New Mexico. In today's video, we have this Philodendron Xanadu in front of us. I have noticed it's been losing quite a bit of the old foliage, which does tend to happen. But if you notice here, there is some yellowing on some of the tips of the leaves. And if we look inside the pot here, you can see that where the soil was when I bought it was at this ridge line here. I don't know if you can see it maybe on the back side of the pot. Back in that corner, you can kind of see it. But it's dropped about an inch in height since I got it. So I'm going to pull it out, add some more soil on the bottom, take a look at the roots. And I don't know if you can see it very easily, but right there you see this guy over here in the corner? He's kind of getting smothered by the pot. This thing does grow up, and as it grows up, it'll send out shoots or pups from the side. You can choose to leave them or you can take them off. This already has a plant in here, or two main plants that have branched out significantly. This one back here has 4 pups on it, and the one in the front has, I'd say, another 3 or 4. So I'm not going to take them all off. I do want to keep a nice full pot, but I don't think we need them all. So just grab the sturdiest part of the plant you can and pull it out. You can see the root system here. Nice, chunky, white, healthy roots. So there's nothing wrong there. But here's the one that I was talking about that's kind of struggling in the front. And it's not that it's fighting for nutrients or food or anything. It's mainly just a space thing. And I don't want to keep it looking all messed up. Sorry for hitting the camera. You can see I just snapped it there. Now this you should be able to just take and stick in water or straight in soil, whichever is your preferred method of propagation. And as I'm tearing off all the dry stuff, like I always say we should, you can see right there, that's a node. So that will produce a root, and we will have another little baby Xanadu. You can see right there. That is either going to be a root or a new shoot. So there are multiple options for it to push out roots, and I think if we look down here too, you can see that little spot right there. That will soon to be a root, and that's a decent little propagation. It shouldn't take too long to make a nice plant out of that. Now we'll put our plant to the side over here, and I'm just going to use the same pot because, like I said, it did go down in the same pot, so you can see there's pots and everything all around. I've been trying to work on getting stuff looking happy again, because I think there are a few things that I let go too far without repotting, and that's completely my fault. But let's see how it looks. Now this is my normal potting mix. I didn't mix anything up yet because from what I have experienced with this plant is it's pretty forgiving. I need to raise the soil up a little bit more. And when you're working with nice, fresh, fluffy soil, if you want, you can either smash it down and compact it, or you can pre-soak it, or pre-moisten it rather, and that will help make sure it doesn't compact the way it did this time. I'm just going to smash it down a little because I don't want to deal with a bunch of mud. Now stick the plant back in, and since it looks like I have more room in the back, what I'm going to do is stick it up against the back wall, the plant, and that'll just leave the front for me to fill. So that'll be a lot easier, just to fill these 2 sides and water it in. Now because this is just a happy-go-lucky plant, it's nothing that requires any kind of special care. That's why I knew there was something wrong with it when it started to show the signs of stress on the leaves. Like I said, that's just because it ran out of space in the bottom. You've seen all those roots that were just hanging out on the bottom of the pot. It shouldn't be like that. They should have something to grow into, hopefully. Now you can see I did add about an inch of soil on the bottom, so they will be good. When you give your plants another inch or 2 to grow in a pot, that's usually good for another 6 months to a year, or growing season, however you want to look at it. It all just depends on if you're doing it well, the plant is actively growing like I am, and if your plant stops growing in the winter at all. Some of mine don't. Some of them just keep chugging along. And back here you can see there's a little bit of crispiness, so we'll just pull that off. That's not doing anything for the plant. And that's about it. Just finish filling it up and water it in. Remember, anytime you mess with the roots on a plant, you do want to make sure you water it in. And if your finger doesn't fit to put the soil down in there, use a tool, whether it be a straw, a spoon, a trowel like I have here. I'm only using a trowel because I actually found one this time, but most of the time I don't. I just smash it down with my fingers like that. I hope this gave you guys some kind of insight as to how this Philodendron Xanadu can be propagated. Now remember, some of these plants are patented and you don't want to go around propagating and selling if you're breaking off a piece because you moved it, or breaking off something for your own use. I mean, I'm sure that would be perfectly fine as long as you're not getting too crazy with it. Since this is something that you can root pretty easily, I am putting some soil on top here to top dress it. That'll actually come in contact with the upper nodes, like on the stalk that I took off, and that will give it another area for it to root in. Now this is tricky, and you got to keep your plant dry after doing this because you can rot the stem of the plant. But I've done this before. I've buried tons of things deep out in the landscape, so I know what I'm doing. Just got to keep it dry, or drier than I normally would, for I'd say about the first month. Once it starts to look like it's growing, or you can even sweep away some of the soil and see if the roots are sending out, then you're fine to continue watering as normal. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.